Welcome to the deep dive, where we cut through the noise to get straight to the knowledge you need. Look, in a world just awash with information, especially AI stuff, it feels like a full-time job just keeping up, right?
It really does. And
Yeah.
that's exactly why we're here. We've gone through a stack of your sources on a really fascinating topic, private LLMs. Our mission today is basically to pull out the most important insights for you. We're going to unpack what these custom AI models actually are, why they're becoming, well, so crucial, and maybe even touch on how you'd go about building one yourself.
Okay, let's unpack that. So these sources, they describe a private LLM as essentially a custom AI model. It's built specifically on an organization's own data, tailored to its specific goals. So it's not just some general AI, it's an AI that really gets your specific world. But how fundamental is that unique data piece, really, according to the material?
Oh, it's absolutely central. What's really fascinating here is how customizing these large language models, well, it lets you create these highly specialized tools. They go way beyond just generic capabilities. It's not just about being more effective or efficient, though that's part of it. The material actually shows that private LLMs can often find patterns, correlations within that proprietary data that general models would just completely miss. And that can lead to totally new business ideas or better risk assessments. The key first step, though, the foundation for all this, is making sure the model's trained on really high-quality, relevant information.
Right, right. And getting there, that journey, it really kicks off with data collection and pre-processing. You're basically curating and prepping these data sets so they align perfectly with whatever task you have in mind. The sources also stress how choosing the right pre-trained model is critical. Things like, the model size, its original training data, even its architecture, all that really impacts how successful the customization is going to be. So when we talk about the right pre-trained model, what sort of options are we looking at? Why pick one over another?
Well, models like Llama 2 pop up quite a bit in the sources. They're often mentioned as versatile starting points. People like them because they're open source, and they perform pretty well generally right out of the box. But the choice, it always comes down to balancing. Balancing computational efficiency against the specific performance you actually need for your task. It's really about finding that sweet spot. You don't want to throw massive resources at a simple task, but you also don't want to underpower something complex.
Okay, so for organizations listening, this really begs the question, beyond just, making things run smoother, what are the truly compelling reasons? Why invest all the effort in building a private LLM? What's the sort of hidden payoff?
The benefits, yeah, they are pretty compelling because they let organizations use AI in these really specific ways that, frankly, generic models just can't handle. Take customer service chatbots, for example, a private LLM. It can respond in a way that's perfectly consistent with your brand voice, handle complex issues using your company's own info, and provide genuinely personalized support that can seriously boost user satisfaction and, cut down resolution times.
That makes a ton of sense for the customer experience side. Did the material mention any, specific hurdles organizations hit trying to get that brand tone just right with these models?
Oh, definitely. One challenge that came up is the need for continuous fine-tuning, to keep that tone consistent as the brand changes or maybe new products launch. It's not a one-off thing,
Yeah.
but the payoff, it's significant. And beyond customer service, we also see really powerful uses in content creation. Think generating marketing copy, product descriptions, even blog posts or social media stuff, all precisely tailored to specific audiences and, crucially, that brand voice. Then in financial analysis, these models can spot potential fraud with, well, remarkable accuracy. They can analyze really specific market trends hidden in proprietary data, provide detailed risk assessments. I think one source mentioned a financial firm. They cut their fraud detection time by something like 70% using a custom LLM.
Wow. And then moving to an area with, really profound implications, healthcare support, the sources highlight custom solutions like MedLM. These can apparently help with medical diagnosis, patient education, even research, just by analyzing huge amounts of medical records. And in the legal field, similar transformations, legal document review, extracting key info, summarizing complex stuff. What's the unique value prop in these really regulated, specialized fields? What makes a private LLM so attractive there?
Well, that raises a really important point, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Imagine the efficiency gains. Truly profound gains. And the reduction in human error when you have an AI that's perfectly tuned into the complex, often jargon-heavy language of medicine or law. It really shifts AI from being just a general tool to more of a precision instrument.
Okay, the benefits are definitely compelling.
Yeah.
So for many listening, the next logical thought is, right, how do we actually make one of these? How do you create a bespoke AI model? The materials seem to lay out a pretty clear path.
It does. And it starts, maybe predictably, with defining really clear objectives and requirements.
Hmm.
You've got to pinpoint the specific use cases. How will this LLM actually serve the business? And crucially, define the outcomes you want and the KPIs, the metrics to track if it's working. Basically, what problem are you solving and how will you know if you've solved it?
Right. Then you choose an open source LLM framework. Hugging Face Transformers came up a lot as a popular pick. It acts like a big library for building and training, and the main cost seems to be just the computing power needed.
Exactly. Then the next really critical step, collect and process that domain-specific data. This is where the model really learns the unique stuff about your business. The more specific, the higher quality your data, the better the LLM will get those nuances. So like if you're building a legal LLM, you feed it contracts, case law, internal memos, not just random text from the internet. And the material really hammered this point home. Often the biggest bottleneck isn't the tech itself. It's the huge effort needed for consistently high-quality data labeling and data governance within the company. That's the hard part.
Okay, so once you have that crucial data sorted, then you move to actually pre-training or fine-tuning the model. The recommendation seems to be go with pre-training if you're starting more or less from scratch, but choose fine-tuning if maybe you have less data or fewer compute resources. Models like BERT or GPT were mentioned as good starting points.
That's right. And after the training, you absolutely must evaluate and continuously monitor its performance. This makes sure the LLM is effective when you launch it, but also that it keeps learning, adapting as things change. Key things to track are accuracy, relevance, error rates, how fast it responds, and of course, user satisfaction. There are tools mentioned that can help here, like MLflow for managing the whole machine learning lifecycle, Prometheus and Grafana for monitoring systems, or even Hugging Face's own evaluation API for benchmarking.
And the final piece seems to be rigorous user testing and continuous improvement. Getting that feedback from actual users is essential for refining the model and also for scaling it properly as more people use it and just proactively spotting problems like when it gives wrong answers or, ambiguous responses. It's definitely not a set it and forget it kind of project.
Not at all. It's an ongoing journey.
So, okay, you've built your private LLM, but the real power, it seems, often comes from how you keep refining it, keep customizing it. The sources detailed 3 really effective techniques for this.
Yeah, the first one is RO, or Retrieval Augmented Generation. This method basically lets your LLM pull in real-time data from outside sources. So it ensures the answers it gives are up to date, which directly tackles that problem of models being trained on static, older data. Think of it like giving your LLM access to an always current library.
That sounds like a game changer for relevance.
Yeah.
Did the sources mention any complexities with implementing RO, like managing that external knowledge base?
Absolutely. The effectiveness of our GIAC really hinges on the quality and organization of those external data sources. It often means you need pretty robust indexing and retrieval systems in place. It's not trivial. Okay, the second technique is end-short prompting, sometimes called few-shot prompting. Here, you improve the model's responses by giving it just a few examples every time you prompt it. It helps guide the output more precisely without needing extensive retraining.
Okay, guiding it with examples. And the third way.
The third is fine-tuning. This involves more intensive training, but focused on a specific task, aiming for much better accuracy and understanding within that narrow domain. This is when you really mold the model into an expert in one very specific area, letting it grasp all the subtle details in your particular dataset. If you look at the big picture, these methods, RE, end-short, fine-tuning, they offer incredible adaptability and precision. They let you take a general AI and really sculpt it into a highly specialized, effective tool.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening? Today, we really dove deep into private LLMs. We understood them as these custom AI models tailored to specific data, specific goals. We walked through the powerful benefits across different sectors, customer service, healthcare, legal, and we outlined that step-by-step process for actually building one, highlighting potential bumps like data labeling.
And we also hit on those key customization techniques, RAG for real-time info, end-short prompting for guidance, and fine-tuning for deep expertise. The real value here, I think, is transforming those broad AI capabilities into highly focused, impactful tools that can genuinely understand the nuances of a specific field and maybe even uncover new opportunities hidden in your data.
Yeah, absolutely. So for you, the learner, This isn't just technical jargon, it's about seeing that AI isn't just this monolithic general thing out there. It can be shaped almost intimately to solve your unique specific problems. Problems maybe only you can tackle because you have the proprietary data and the context. So as you think about the industries or challenges you care about, maybe consider this. How could an AI custom built with your specific data and goals redefine what's possible, not just for making things faster, but maybe for entirely new discoveries?